Another game against the Sharks and another loss. It's not surprising at this point. I'm expecting a loss tomorrow night, and I think we're gonna go 1-7 versus a team that I don't know. I want to say on paper and just by all accounts we should be better than, but clearly we're not. We're losing the games. They are playing better than us every time. We're not getting robbed. We're not. I mean, Martin Jones is playing really well and he plays really well against the Kings, but it's not like we're getting unlucky. We're just not good enough, and we're not good enough to beat them. But more importantly, we're just not good. This team, the players are a big factor. I think coaching decisions are a big factor, but this team has just fallen off a cliff, and it's not the Kings that started the year out. It's not the team that when you put them on the power play, you pretty much expected them to get a goal. And it's not a team that you expect is going to go out and win a game. They just aren't right now. And it's very disappointing. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to do reviews after the games because there's no improvement. There's nothing to build off of for me doing reviews and obviously for the team. And I like I said, I think coaching is a big part of it. I'll get into that in a second. But I mean, let's look at the good things. We scored early. I thought that was going to be a really good sign, a huge momentum boost for us, something that doesn't happen often. And it didn't matter. 3 goals for the Sharks in the first period. Bad defending. Just, Cal Peterson, not a great night for him, but not his fault that we lose. And it just killed the game because, yeah, they came back against the Coyotes for a couple goals down. And so they can do it. It is there. But the way that they were playing tonight, you just knew that they weren't going to score 4 goals and win the game. It was, like I said, disappointing. Will Lannon makes his debut. Didn't impress me. I think he actually was kind of a reason that they scored one of their goals, where he just didn't really back check as hard as he should have. But not going to blame him. It's his first game. He got limited time on ice, so whatever. Curtis McDermott played tonight, which I don't understand because you bring up Lannon, and you got Brendan Lemieux for the sandpaper, the gritty guy. So why is McDermott still playing? Austin Strand is available. He's healthy, which there's no other NHL level defensemen who are healthy. But now he is. Now that we brought Lannon up, but we still start Curtis McDermott. Curtis McDermott, I mean, it's not like he had one of his awful games, but, going after the fight, I think it was a soft call that he got called for, but man, like Lemieux does his job. He did what he's been touted as and what he's supposed to do. He draws a penalty, and then Curtis McDermott has to go and cancel it out by starting a fight with a guy who, like, really? You're going to go and fight Jeff Veal, a guy who's played, a handful of NHL games? It just doesn't make sense, especially if that hit is against a good player, a star player. Yeah, that's when you send a message when you're Curtis McDermott. When the hit is against the guy who's on the team to draw penalties and to get people mad at him so they do stuff like that, you don't go and attack them for it. You let the penalty happen and you beat them by scoring a goal. You don't beat them in the face. And it was a bad decision for McDermott. Again, it was a soft call, but still, you have to have some game sense. You have to have some game IQ to not do anything that could ruin a power play when we're down like that. The Athanasiou fight that happened was kind of nothingness. Other than that, Trevor Moore in the second period, he had I think like 3 or 4 breakaways. He could have tied the game all by himself on the penalty kill. He just didn't finish any of them. Another guy who just did not finish the multiple attempts and shots and chances that he got was Jeff Carter. it continues to be a thing. Jeff Carter, I talked about him in his whole own video, but it's time. It's time to get rid of Jeff Carter. I mean, he's not Jeff Carter anymore. He was a great player. I'm sure he's a great guy. Obviously, great in the locker room. He's a leader, but he is bringing this team down when he's the guy you're throwing out there in crunch time. He's not skating like he was at the start of the year. His really amazing wrist shot that he's known for just doesn't exist anymore. The goals he has scored this year have all been, 2-on-0s or 2-on-1s with Athanasiou, where he gets the little tap in. He had the deflection in the last game, but he's not sniping pucks home. He's not, scoring goals in kind of nothing plays like he used to be able to. And it's just, I don't understand how long of a leash he's going to get, especially like I mentioned in the last video, when you're putting Adrian Kempe on the fourth line, who tonight I thought he had a good game. I thought the whole fourth line had a good game. They were doing their jobs. I would say until the Kings really stopped playing in the third period, and it was very worrying and clear to me that they just had no energy in the third period. The guys were slower. They weren't going for a chance for pucks. But up until then, the third and fourth line, the Anderson-Dolan line, the Kempe line, were the two good lines for the team. They were the guys who were getting the game going. They were starting battles down low. They were starting cycles. They were getting possession down deep. They were doing what they should have been doing. It just nothing occurred from it. And then, like I said, at the end of the third, just the team had no energy, weren't playing with any kind of passion that we saw in the last game. And Drew Doughty, he got a lot of praise for his comments 2 games ago. I was critical of it. I don't know. It's Drew Doughty, to me, he makes $11 million. When you're going to talk about how the team's underperforming, I think you have to be a big part of it. You have to make we statements instead of them statements, which he kind of did. And last game, yeah, he had a great game, so everyone praised him. Oh, look, he talked the talk, he walked the walk. And then tonight, nowhere to be found. Third period, power play, chance to tie it up late, and he just didn't go for the puck, and that's what led to their 2-on-0 shorthanded breakaway, which sealed the game. And it's frustrating because, like I said, Drew Doughty makes $11 million. There's not many guys in the NHL that make $11 million, and those guys can single-handedly win games. They can put teams on their back. And Drew Doughty, he had a good game last night, but this is 8 losses in 10. You have to be able to step up. You have to be able to step up. And all the talk is great, but having one good game, it just isn't enough. And it's frustrating because in the beginning of the year, I thought he really had a bounce back year. I was excited. I was excited for all the people saying Drew Doughty's washed up to, get that thrown out and I don't know, shut up the haters. But right now I just don't feel good about Doughty, and I don't feel good about the team, to be honest. I mean, Andrei Kopitar continues to be the one player that's consistent, that plays hard every night, has heart and passion for this team. Everybody else, it's very tough to pick out. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want this same roster and these line combinations to go into the game tomorrow. They probably will, knowing Tom McClellan, but we'll have to see what happens. I'm not looking forward to it. It's 1:15 in the morning for me, and it's frustrating staying up after, a long day of work and coming home. I used to get excited for the games earlier in the year. Now it's honestly not fun to watch right now. The team is not fun to watch, and they have to change it. And I don't know if that means make some big moves before Monday. I want to make a video before Monday on guys that the Kings could move, what we could get for them. I think it's time to sell. I think it's time to really be sellers again for a third straight year. The team doesn't look good. The players aren't that good. Let's just prepare for the future. We have the prospects. Let's get the space ready for them. Let's finish out the year being bad like we are right now. Get another draft pick, more guys to add up, maybe another first round pick if we make a trade, and make a better team because the team is not good and it's lacking guys who I think have heart and passion right now.